Hi. So this is part 4, if I counted right, of my series on the Stonehearth add-on for Blender. So far we've learned a little bit about the file structure which is used in Stonehearth, so for the JSON files for skeletons and animations. We have installed and adjusted a little bit Blender, so installed the add-on and adjusted the Blender interface. So yours might look now similar to what I have here in front. And in the last one we have prepared the model for animation. And this animation is what should be the content on the 4th part of the series. So you see here the model is actually not prepared. So nothing is linked to each other, and also the origin is still here in the center. So I have loaded already the female skeleton file and the meta file of this add-on. So let me click on prepare the model. You see the hierarchy. Just to repeat a little bit, the hierarchy is set it up. We have the helper bones in place. And now prepare animation, and there we go. So the model is ready for animation. You might wonder why I have here this semi-naked model of the female settler. Actually, it doesn't matter too much. I could have a dressed up one, but sex sells, as people say. The important part is that these body parts here are all in the model included. So if you load up another model here, but the names of the body parts are similar, the animation file will be fine. So I just took this one here. Okay, so we are ready to start animating. What is important for animating? You will see that I'm not using armatures. So one of the ways to work with animation, in Blender is to add here armatures and single bones. And let's just resize it. And then at the end of the day, you will have here bones, one bone for each of the body parts, and link them together. And then just by modifying the bones, the whole shell or the body will be linked to these bones and move as the bones are moving. But this I will not do. What we will be doing is just rotate and move body parts and save then the new location. The reason for this is quite simple. It's much faster and less effort. You would need to set up a rig with these armatures for the whole body. So alone for the fingers, you would need 2 bones, one for the upper part of the finger, which you have, and one for the lower part. So that's a bit too much work. And in addition, as you saw in the animation files, the information is only stored for these body parts which you see here. If I add now additional bones here, all of them you see appear here, so they are objects, and actually they are the same as the helper bones which I have here. So they are both of the same type. And if I would export now the animation, I would have also the exported details for these bones. Probably the Stonehearth engine will ignore them as there is no body part linked to them, or has the name of these bones, but it's just not necessary, and as said, much faster way to animate. So let's get started with that one. What I have done here is I've zoomed in a little bit into my timeline here. So you see I have 50 frames, starting with the one, going to the last one, and actually the first one should be already my keyframe. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting now with A all of my objects here, and on the left side here, this window, if you don't have it, just press on the plus, it will open up. You have some interesting and important functions for us. One is under keyframes, let's say insert, and then location, rotation, scale. and you will see here it turned, or it included now a yellow line which indicates for me a keyframe. So we have now this initial position saved as a first keyframe on frame number 1, and it's actually only visible if you have the body part selected, just if you are wondering. So that's where we are. Now we need to decide what we want to do as an animation. Actually, I would say let's just let her maybe say hello. So I would like to have a simple animation that the hand goes up and she's waving, and that's it. So we will just go from here, let's say, and that's now just really trying it out a little bit. So I'm selecting the shoulder, the right shoulder, and then I want to move it in front up. So I say rotate, press the button R, and now you can either free rotate it, but that might result into something like this. So that's not really looking like I would like to have it. You could also, once you pressed R, define on which axis. So without moving the mouse, just press now X, Y, Z. Let's press X, and then you see I can only rotate on the X-axis, and it is visible as an additional helper line here. So this way I can prevent that I have very strange angles, which I don't want to. So let me move the arm here up a little bit. Let's say that's enough. Or let's go. Oh, it doesn't have to be beautiful now for the time being, just to show it. So then we select this one here, maybe on the y-axis. We want to move it also in this direction here, and maybe on the that was the z-axis actually, on the y-axis now, move it somewhere here. And let's just, I got used to it to select everything if I add a keyframe, just because if you adjust more than one, you just simply forget it and then the changes are lost. So I add now everything, and if I now go between the two keyframes, you see something is happening. So my settler is raising the hand. Okay, now let's go to the next one. I want maybe to have the hand shaken a little bit, again on the y-axis, and actually maybe I want it also a little bit here, something like that. Maybe even take here the palm. Let's select everything, add a keyframe, and now we have something which looks like this. Okay, now we need to go up again. So let's select the palm, let's go back. Here we select also the arm and the shoulder. And you can do this for sure much nicer than I'm doing it here. But again, it's just to show the idea behind. And then I'm looking forward to see your pieces of art. Let's move it a little bit further. No, this will be now in the head, but I don't care at the moment. So how does this look like? And it's going up, wave down, wave up. Let's wave down again. And as said, this is again nothing which is really applying for any prize in arts. It's just to show how you can work here with animations without adding actually a rig to the body. So there we go. So that would be now so far the animation. And let's maybe go once more up. And then after that we put the hand back again. And we are good. Go one further. Now we take the x-axis. That should be it. Okay. So let's get the hand and maybe no, what did I want to do? Maybe we want to do something else, just as a small joke. Let's see. So insert this also as keyframes. What you could do for sure is to really open up here another window and maybe another one and just look from different perspectives, and then you have also a nicer view of how the animation looks like in general, but as said, that's just for the time being more about the Blender add-on than on the animation. So the hand goes down again, and now I want that the lady, maybe she has some itchy pants. So we go just a little bit to the back. The hand goes down and turns also. Let's take this part to rotate also to the back. And let's add this here. I by accident press always a shortcut to close this window here. So just in case you're wondering. Okay, and now she has the hand, well, wherever it is. And let's ignore the fingers now. We just want to move this one maybe on the x-axis again here, but yeah, no, that's maybe fine. Let's see how it looks like. And then it should go up again. That was the wrong bone. Okay, so it goes down, scratching a little bit. Let's maybe do it one more time. And one more time up. And let's see how this looks like. So the hand is going down. Yeah, well, maybe it's not really scratching, but yeah, that's... Let's see if this looks somehow... Well, she's doing something there, right? Whatever. And let's go back to the starting position. Now I messed up here a little bit the whole bones. As said, this is just for getting used to how to work actually with animations here, how to set them up. It's not meant to be an animation tutorials because you have some shortcuts where you can reset also values and all this kind of things, but I guess there are some other people who do this much nicer than I do, and that's fair enough here. So let's insert the last one here, and now we are on frame 34. So let's reduce this back to 35 maybe. We don't need too much of them. And let's play the animation. So it's quite fast. Should have made it a bit longer, but yeah, that's how it is. Okay, so we are good now with creating an animation. You see the animation is here in the center while our skeleton model was over there. So this has to be like that because now the details here, the location information will be saved in relation to the center, while for the skeleton it needs to be on the same position as the file which you have from Cubicle. We say now here export Stonehearth. You have the choice between skeleton. We don't want to do this. Actually, if you are using a skeleton of an existing model, you will never have to do something with the skeleton if you're just doing animations. So you have easy life actually. You can include or import the skeleton file. If a meta file is available, I hope over the time I will be able to provide a lot of them. Actually, it's quite easy to create one, so I hope also that out of the community, some people will contribute to that and create these meta files. That's one of the idea behind it. And also, if you have our own model, you can create it for your own models, but that's the topic of another part of this series. But actually, what you have to do is you load the object file, you load the two supporting JSON files, press two buttons, you're ready to go with an animation. It's half a minute and you're done. And that the only thing you need to do is to export the animation, and I just call it, I don't know, test JSON is fine. Press export and we should be good. So to see if we are good, let me go into the folder. So that's where I saved it. Let's copy it, and I'm here in the Stonehearth folder. It was in the data, rigs, humans, and then the skeletons, you remember. Let's go to the animation, female we have, add it here. Let's open it briefly. So that's now the animation file as it is created here. You don't need to change anything, which is a bit different than for the skeleton file, if you remember. This is actually working quite well. There is no special information included in here. So that's maybe really piece of cake. Now, just to try it out, I like to use the breathe animation because it is called most often from all of them. So let's just rename here the file into idle breathe. The other one I've just saved. And now what I need to do is I need to create a new zip file, which I've done now. Let's save also the old smod file here and rename that one. And now what we have is actually we changed the animation, we included it back into Stonehearth, zipped it again, renamed, and if I don't get an error message, which I frequently do, so give me a second, I will start the Stonehearth graphics test, and then we should see the animation we have just created. And here is our lady, and instead of the idle breathe, it's really too fast, but yeah, she is waving and kind of scratching. Well, looks like she She's shivering, but yeah, you get the idea. You see, it works quite nice out of the box. Not too much to adjust if you stay with this. If you want to work on custom things, then it becomes a little bit more complicated. I will explain this in the next part of the series probably. So yeah, I hope this was a little bit helpful. You've learned a little bit on how to animate here without rigging the model. So yeah, looking forward for some feedback and hopefully also some animations which you are able to create with this add-on once I have published it. That will happen probably in the next days once I'm done with the whole tutorial series here. Thanks for stopping by and having interest in this add-on, and looking forward to see you then in the 5th part of the series. Bye.